Today we have a really exciting TRX workout plan. So a TRX is a suspension trainer. If you don't have a TRX, which is a name brand, you can purchase a suspension trainer. They are quite popular on Amazon. And then just make sure that you have it anchored to something that's very, very secure. So the first exercise that we are going to do today is a squat. So we're using the TRX for a squat. You want to make sure that form is really, really good, and aiming anywhere between 12 and 15 repetitions is a great place to start for your TRX squat.
All right, here we're going to be doing a really low squat using the TRX and also a circle band. So the really low squat is going to be working primarily the front of the leg, the quads, and the glutes. The TRX is going to allow us to keep more of an upright chest and prevent any caving over, falling forwards in our squat. And then the band is really going to help with the glute engagement. So as we set up here, we want to set a good base. Make sure that we have tension on the band. We're going to bring the handles out. We're not putting a lot of weight on the handles, but then we're going to contract the core and hinge backwards. So back and down as low as we can go. This is called the Aztec grass squat. So we are thinking about pressing the feet against the floor, through the floor. The hands on the handles are super light, so we're driving through that foot to come back up. As we hinge back and down, we're keeping the core nice and tight, and we're really driving through the foot to stand back up. This is working the glute, the quads, the core. You shouldn't feel it in the lower backs. You don't feel much in the hamstrings. You do feel it mostly in the front of the legs. And that is your TRX ass to grass squat.
From there, we'll move into some hamstring curls with the TRX. These are super challenging. So if you can only do like 2 or 3 to start, that's completely fine. Advanced would be working on your way all the way up to 15 or more. All right, we're going to do the TRX hamstring curl. So you want to start by making sure that your heels are in the handle loop. So in the soft loop of the handle, not in the hard loop. And make sure that that soft part is over the back of your heel. Then scooch up to the wall to make sure that both of your straps are even. Then we're going to use a lot of core strength, and you're going to back yourself out away from the wall a little bit so that you have room to move. So it's like you're doing a reverse plank. You want to make sure that the shoulders are back and down. You do not want to do this with your shoulders rolled forwards. And you're going to use a lot of core strength as you push yourself up off the floor. So you have to raise your hips off the floor, so here, and then you're going to flex your feet and curl the legs in towards your body. So you're trying to bring your heels to your glutes and keeping those straps even, while you use your core to support most of your body weight. So your hands should be right under your shoulders, that way we're not putting pressure on the shoulder joint. And the only place really you should feel this is in the hamstrings and the core. Then we're going to move into hip abduction with the TRX. This is working outer hip, but you're also using your arms, your shoulders to support yourself. So it is utilizing more muscle than just the hips, just the abductors. So with the hip abduction on the TRX, we want to make sure that we're stabilizing with the core and using stabilization muscles of the shoulders as well. Okay, so we're going to do hip abduction with the TRX. So we should be working outside of the hip. Go ahead and put your feet in the handles. It's easy if you then stick that foot against the wall so it can't slide out of the handle. Go ahead, secure your other foot, and then you're going to walk yourself out from the wall and supporting yourself with your hands like you would in a plank. You're going to push your hips up off the floor, and then use the stabilization muscles of the shoulder to make sure you're not stuck down in the shoulder joint. You're lifting up and out. So this looks like this here, okay? So I'm not in the shoulder joint. This would be stuck down in the shoulder joint. So we want to lift up and out. Core is working. Stabilizers are working. I'm going to start legs together. Take them out to the side. Bring them back in together. So nice and slow and controlled. bonus some core work. So you shouldn't really feel this on the inner thigh. You should feel this more on the outer hip, okay? All right, so that's the TRX hip abduction. And then we'll round it off with the TRX reverse lunge. This you can do stationary and complete all the reps on one side, or you can do it as an alternating lunge. With the lunges, again, that's going to be a strength and endurance movement. It is a compound movement. So working up anywhere between 10 and 20 or more, depending on where your level of fitness is, depending on what your goal is as well. All right, we're going to do a TRX reverse lunge where we want to put all of our weight onto one foot. We want to make sure that we're pressed firmly through the foot, through the heel, and through also the small toe and the big toe, so that we have the largest surface area, and that way we also have the best stability. We're going to hold the handles lightly. You're going to take the opposite foot, step back a decent amount of space, and then bend both knees. We want our weight all on the front foot. We're going to drive through that front foot, come back up. So the back leg is just going back. We want to bring the knee as far down to the floor as we can, power through the front leg and come back up. This is your TRX reverse lunge. We're not doing much with the handles. They're just here for a little bit of support if you need it. So we're trying to really not use them. Fingers are super light, and the only place we're really feeling this is on that working leg, on the quad, on the glute, and a little bit on the hamstring. And then if you're not used to having good balance in the ankle or in the foot, where you probably feel a little bit of the extensors around the ankle working as well. But that's your TRX reverse lunge. And then finally, we're going to end with a single leg squat variation using the TRX. That is not a pistol squat. A pistol squat is a single leg squat, but this is just a single leg squat variation. So in this particular variation, you're placing all of the load onto one leg, while the other side, the hip, is getting a really nice stretch. So again, with this one, working anywhere between 10 and 20 repetitions on each side, building that up so you're getting that good progressive overload as you go along, as well as helping build up your endurance. So we're going to do a single leg squat variation. For this one, you do want to back up so we have the bands or the length of the suspension trainer is all stretched out. Then we're going to set up. You're going to place one foot firmly on the ground, and then we're going to cross the other ankle over that knee. So we have all the weight loaded there on that standing leg. This is going to be our working leg. Now, this is important that as we do this one, we really focus on neutral spine. So we don't want to be having that arch in the lower back. We want the spine neutral. We want the core tight. We're going to hinge back. We're trying to keep our back as neutral and as straight as possible. Something else I really want you to pay attention to is, what is that supporting ankle doing? Is your foot wobbling all over the place? Are you pulling it to one side more than the other? And about the best way to fix that is to firmly push down through the heel and then grab a hold of the floor with your toes, and focusing on keeping that arch up off the floor a little bit. And that'll really help to strengthen both the foot and the ankle. All right, so here we go. Long arms, set it up, push the hips forwards, get the core tight, hinge back and down. See, the spine is nice and straight. You're going to press through that supporting leg. Okay, so really the only place we should be feeling this is on this supporting leg, and maybe you're getting a nice little stretch on the non-working leg as that hip is placed in that nice figure four position. So hinge back and down, keep that core tight, keep the spine neutral, press through the standing foot, come back up. So really the only place you should be feeling this is here, glute, lower core, and then possible stretch on the non-working leg on that outer hip. All right, and that is another variation of a single leg squat using our suspension trainer. And that is what we have for the TRX exercise today. am the founder of Vegan Fit for Life, and I am so happy to connect with you. I was able to completely transform my life in a positive manner by finding the gym and by changing my nutrition so that I was eating appropriately for my body. And I am very happy and very excited to be able to share that with you. Thanks for joining us.